Because you are telling your sons and daughters, prayer is not important. School is. Please be careful. Your duty as a mother and father, to wake your children up for Fajr prayer. Because Allah will bless them and will protect them right through the day and night. You don't do that, you have not been a good mother and father. They're your responsibility. To an extent that the Prophet ﷺ said, if your son or daughter or husband or wife don't get up, get some water and sprinkle on their face. Don't get, a big jug of water and Bismillah Allahu Akbar. No, nice and easy. Da'wah is very simple. Please, because Fajr prayer is so significant for you for the rest of your day and night. So show them the beauty of Islam. You're watching something on television that you like, no problems. We're not saying don't watch television, please. It's time to pray. Your son and daughter are watching. Is whatever you're watching more important, or you responding to Allah more important? Turn off the television, get up and pray. You pray, you've seen our kids and our sons and daughters from a young age. If they see you pray, they want to pray. If they see you dance, they'll also want to dance. Please, you are a role model. You are an example. That's what Allah has said, subhanahu wa ta'ala, Qu anfusakum, save yourself and your family from the hellfire. In Islam, the mother, she's so important, so significant, because the women are half of the community and you teach the other half. Behind every successful man, there's a greater woman. And Allah has said subhanahu wa ta'ala, وَلَيْسَ الذَّكَرْ كَالْأُنْثَى. Some of the ulama have said, not all of them, that women in Islam are at a higher status than men. وَلَيْسَ الذَّكَرْ كَالْأُنْثَى. When I say that this is not like this, that means this is better than this. If she is a mother, we all know, أمك ثم أمك ثم أمك ثم أباك. We all know that our mothers, may Allah bless them, when a Sahabi came and asked the Prophet ﷺ, he said, your mother, number one, mother, female. Number two, mother, female. Number three, mother, female. Number four, father. Allahu Akbar. The Prophet ﷺ said, whomever has 3 daughters or 3 sisters, 2 daughters or 2 sisters, 1 daughter or 1 sister, and they look after them and they bring him up right, there will be a shield for him from hell. The Prophet ﷺ said, خيركم لأهله وأنا خيركم لأهلي. The Prophet ﷺ said, the best men are those who are best to their wives, and I'm the best to my wife. The Prophet ﷺ said, ما أكرمهن إلا كريم وما أهانهن إلا لئيم. Whomever honors women, they're honorable. Whomever disgraces women, they're disgraceful. You see the status of women in Islam? You see how high? Subhanallah al-Azim. So your role, mother, is so important. Please don't spend much time with your friends and your television and your internet. Spend time with your kids. Our kids need our love. Our kids need our smile. They need our compassion. They need our mercy. Because if they don't get that from us, they will get it from someone else. Please. Your kids need love. If they don't get it from mom and dad, they will get it from someone else. And we all know that depending on the level of age of the kids, you have to treat them differently. And obviously they can give a course about this. You can give 6-7 sessions about details in regards of how you should look after the toddlers, the children, the youth, the adults. This is a long process. But my advice to parents, you gotta keep up with your kids' technology. Please, parents, don't be naive. Don't be negligent. Don't give him total access to the internet. Observe. Block some of the things. Because there are people who are becoming non-Muslims, who are Muslims, through the internet. There are people out there that are brainwashing our kids. Wallahi al-Azim. Some Muslims left Islam because they have nothing. If you have nothing, you can only give nothing. There's nothing. So we need to educate our children. Don't just say haram, haram, haram. Where's halal? Tell them why it's haram. You tell them pray, tell them why we pray. What is prayer? Prayer is a connection between you and Allah. Salat, sila. Tell them about it. Tell them the beauty of it. You have food, say alhamdulillah, this food is from Allah. They look good, mashallah, your sons and daughters, say alhamdulillah, mashallah, you have beautiful eyes. Allah created you with beautiful eyes. Some people, some parents unfortunately, they want to punish their kids. You've been bad, go and read Quran. Excuse me, please don't punish them with the Quran. Please don't do that. Once I went to school to speak to the principal. And I saw a young boy outside the office, he's praying, mashallah, qiyam al-nahar, doing qiyam during the day. Praying, praying, praying. So 10 minutes later, the principal came and he said, he welcomed me in. I said, what's this boy doing there? He prayed about 8 rak'ah, what's he doing there? He said to me, he's been a bad boy. So I told him that he needs to pray until I finish. I said, MashaAllah, you're a principal? You should be a butcher. Your kids, whenever they do good, encourage them, mashallah, you've been so good. Pray 2 rak'ah. Mashallah, you memorized this surah from the Quran. Here, this is a hadiyah from me. Encourage them. And please be careful, parents. I'm begging you, because I grew up in this society, especially being Arab, you know, we're a bit rough. You Asians are a bit soft. We're rough as guts. We eat too much chili. Our parents, whenever we do something wrong, they would say, Allah's going to punish you. You're going to die in the grave. Allah's going to punish you in the fire. We grew up fearing Allah. No, we need to teach our children to love Allah. Inna Allah yaghfiru dhunuba jami'a. Allah forgives all sins. Huwa al-Wadud. Huwa al-Rahman al-Rahim. Please don't teach your children all the time, Allah will kill you, Allah will chop your hands off, Allah will burn you in the hellfire. No, don't do that. Please don't do that. And many parents, especially Arabs, if the boy or girl do something wrong, you're stupid, you're donkey, you're this, you're that, until his son grows up thinking that he's a donkey. Please don't do that. Verbal abuse is very dangerous. You're hopeless, you're worthless, you're stupid. Please don't do that. Parents, don't do that. I'm begging you. Because the result of your kids being hopeless is you. From a young age, you're worthless. Look at you. You're reckless. You're hopeless. You can't read. Kids have different abilities. Oh, you're not good like your brother. You're not good like your cousin. Please don't compare them. Please don't compare them. If you look at the Sahaba, everyone had ability. Your kids have different abilities. Some of them want to go to university and some of them, they don't want to go to university. Don't destroy their self-esteem. Some parents killing their kids unintentionally. Obviously, your parents, you love your kids. But we've been taught wrong. I'm telling you now. You know, especially, you know, in the Arab world, it's all about beating up, hitting. And please don't do that. Many parents, they only have problem. The problem of communication is beating up their sons or daughters. Please don't do that. Don't lay your hands on your kids. You know, we all know the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. مُرُوا أَوْلَادَكُمْ لِلصَّلَاةِ وَهُمْ أَبْنَاءُ سَبْعٍ وَاضْرُبُوهُمْ عَلَيْهَا وَهُمْ أَبْنَاءُ عَشْرٍ وَفَرِّقُوا بَيْنَهُمْ فِي الْمَضَاجِعِ. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, teach your children prayers at an age of 7 and hit them when they reach the age of 10. So the ulama have said you are not allowed to hit your kids until before the age of 10. You're not allowed to hit them. From the day that they were born until 10, you're not allowed to hit them. You can only hit them slightly for one reason, for the prayer. That shows you how important it is. And hitting them is not like, Bismillah, Allahu Akbar on their face. No, please, tapping them like this. Come on, it's time to pray, come on. Not kicking them and punching them. Please don't do that. Wallahi, I know that some parents have driven their kids away from the Islam through their harsh dealings, through their toughness, through their abuse, through their staring, angry staring. Don't do that, please. Bring them to Allah. One father, he wanted to teach his son a lesson. It was a cold night. And that young boy had a baby turtle. Turtle, you know turtle? So the boy was hitting the turtle because the turtle was not moving. So the father said, bring the turtle. And he put it somewhere warm. There's a heater. He put it somewhere warm and the turtle started to walk. He said, whenever you want something, make sure that you're close to that person. Come close. Show them warmth and they would listen to you. Don't be cold. They would not listen to you. Always be warm. If you want to convey a message to any person, don't be harsh. Don't speak to them on the phone. We all know this young boy. We all know the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. Our beloved Prophet ﷺ was the best counselor, the best psychologist, the best psychiatrist, the older brother, the greatest father, the greatest husband, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. A young man comes. He said, Ya Rasulullah, i'dhan li bizina. Just imagine this. Just imagine the Sahaba are sitting down and one young boy comes and he said to the Prophet ﷺ, Ya Rasulullah, i'dhan li bizina. Give me permission to commit zina. Can you imagine this? The Sahaba looked, what's wrong with this boy? Did the Prophet ﷺ said, belt him and get rid of him? Did he say, bash him, hit him? No. He said, come. He sat in front of him, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And he put his knees onto his knees. You see the connection? Yeah. And he put his hand like this on his face and on his shoulders. He said, would you like that your mother commits zina? He said, Bi-abi wa ummi anta ya Rasulullah. No, ya Rasulullah, I'll give my mother and father for you. No. He said, your auntie? He said, no. He said, your sister? He said, no. He said, your daughter? He's not even married. He said, your daughter? He said, no, ya Rasulullah. He said, then others don't like it for their sister and mother and daughter and auntie. This young boy, he said, by Allah, the thing that I wanted most is to commit zina. And now, the thing that I hate most is to commit zina. What was the difference? Your approach, your wisdom, your approach. I taught at 2 schools in Melbourne. And I used to ask the students, I used to teach high school students, what's your favorite subjects? I think there was about 300 that I taught. Maybe only 3 or 4 have said Islamic studies. You know why? Because mashallah, the Shaykh, Bismillah Allah Akbar. You didn't memorize the surah, Bismillah Allah Akbar. Hits him, yells at him, abuses him. Ya aini, ya habibi, excuse me. And when the other teachers were having a hard time, they would say to the student, I'm going to get the Shaykh. Ya aini, boogeyman. The Shaykh has become a boogeyman. No, the Shaykh should be the most gentlest, the kindest, the one that used to smile more. Please, we have to reconsider our methods of teaching to the children. So they hated Islam through the Shaykh. The Shaykh used to come with a stick. MashaAllah. Oh, you didn't memorize? You stupid idiot, he did say. You're hopeless. MashaAllah. Wallah. And then I asked him another question. Because there's all the sisters wear hijab. I said, when you are outside the school, how many of you wear the hijab? Half said we don't wear the hijab outside. And some say, if we didn't have to pray, we will not pray. So some pray without wudu, just to shut the teacher up and the imam up. We need to present Islam as we present a gift to someone. You know, when you want to give me a gift, you give me this gift. Nice. But when you wrap it up and decorate it and you give it to me, that would be nicer. Islam is like this. Wrap it up. For that reason, Allah has said, subhanahu wa ta'ala, ادعو إلى سبيل ربك بالحكمة والموعظة الحسنة وجادلهم بالتي هي أحسن. Allah the Almighty has said, call to the path of Allah with hikmah, wisdom, sincere advice, and argue with them in the best of manner. That's Islam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam how to give da'wah. He didn't say just ادعو إلى سبيل ربك. لا. He gave him the keys to give da'wah and to propagate Islam. You know, the Prophet ﷺ sent Mu'adh ibn Jabal to Yemen. And he said to him, you'll be approaching the people of the book, that means Christians and Jews. The first thing that you should call them to is Shahadat an la ilaha. We need to learn La ilaha illallah. We need to engrave La ilaha illallah in our kids' hearts. Allahu Akbar. Allah is the greatest. He's the most loving. He's the most caring. We need to teach them to love Allah. Wallah, that's so important. Especially when they're young, when they grow. After that, you know, when they reach the age of 13, 14, and they're still not listening, tell them, be careful. Salat is very important. The Prophet ﷺ has said, As-salatu imad ad-din, faman tarakaha faqad kafar. The Prophet ﷺ said, the prayer is the foundation of the religion. Whomever abandons the prayer, they are disbelievers. But all these years, be nice, be gentle, take him to courses, take him to camps, take him to lectures. Parents, I'm begging you. When your kids are small, they listen to you. Take them to the mosque, masjid, take them there. You know, I grew up in the masjid. If I did not go to the masjid and I didn't have good friends, wallah, Abu Hamza is going to go astray. I might be on drugs. I might be following women. I might be ripping off the system. Islam makes me in you. Islam disciplines me in you. Islam lifts our status, me and you. Islam. Without Islam, we're nothing. Take your kids when they're young. Especially to a sheikh who's aware of the surrounding. He doesn't only talk about the Sahaba time, radiallahu anhu. You need to talk about issues that relate to us now. If you look at the biography of the Prophet ﷺ, in Mecca it was different than Medina, different than Habasha, different than Ta'if. Now we're living at a time that a da'i, a mother, a father, you are all du'at. Each one of us is a da'i. You need to try different methods. You know, if your son is sick or daughter, may Allah give him all shifa. You try this medicine, it doesn't work. This medicine doesn't work. The same thing, you da'i. You need to try different approach for your sons and daughters. How can I bring them close to Allah? You should be an artist. How can I bring my son closer to Allah? Smile, gift, camp, take him to this sheikh. Which is the best approach? Very important. So when the kids are young, you have authority over them. When the kids are old, they have authority over you. So take them when you have authority over them. This is something that we need to keep in mind. I'd like to open up the floor for questions and answers, inshallah, and that will get you guys a bit more involved. I am again, wallahi, so pleased to be amongst you. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that what I said today benefits me and you. And I just want you to know one thing. When a sheikh sits here, or a da'i sits here, or a teacher sits here, when they are sitting, they are in need of what they're saying as much as you are. Allah has said to the Prophet ﷺ, فَذَكِّرْ فَإِنَّ الذِّكْرَى تَنْفَعِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. Remind them, surely reminder benefits the believers. The Sahaba, Abu Bakr wa Umar wa Uthman wa Ali radiyallahu anhu, they were in need for reminder. What about us? We're all in need for reminder. Barakallahu feekum. Questions? Raise your hand, inshallah, no problem. Or if you want to write down your question, no problem at all. Yes, sister. Assalam wa barakatuh.
Is it clear, my voice?
Yes.
I actually have many questions, but I will choose only one.
Barakallah fik.
I have many things to express, but I will only say one quote.
Inshallah.
My question is that now it is very rampant that our children are exposed to haters. I feel that people always say that happiness is very important. So that's happiness index. Supposedly Denmark's #1 or whatever. But I am more concerned that people cannot be happy for others. So how do we teach our children to not only be happy with their achievement, but also be happy for others? You see, I'm not sure about in the Western. In Malaysia, it's very common that people are jealous of other people who are being promoted, for example. And school children, if they see somebody who's very successful, who's always on the stage, they will be, telling with other kids, or he's just being so proud of himself. Because we do not teach the children, the parents do not teach our kids to be happy for others.
So true.
You can be happy when you are happy for others.
So true.
So how do we do that? And then what I want to express is that I hope that we have more of this from the scholars, educating parents what they should be doing.
Sure.
If we see the videos being viral in WhatsApp or Facebook, it's mostly about disobedient children.
It's true.
Anak derhaka, it's called in Malaysia.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
that's very, very common. And they keep sending the same videos again and again sometimes. But they forget, how do we actually get those children? It's actually from the parents. The parents, sometimes when these videos are very widely circulated, they feel they are immune that they can do anything to the children. But physical, mental, and emotional abuse is very real. So when a mother does not say good things, then the daughter will grow up saying nasty things because they do not know any other way.
Sure.
When a father does not give nafkah to the wife, the son grows up. So it's a vicious cycle.
It's true.
So I hope to see more videos being circulated on scholars actually telling parents what they should be doing and stop this very vicious cycle.
Great.
Every day you can look in the newspaper about parents abusing, raping their daughters, and so many other things.
It's true.
Okay, that's all from me.
Barakallah.
My name is Aina.
Hayyakum Allah. Sister Aina, may Allah bless you and protect you. Respect your sister. She did mention two important things. First of all, we need to be pleased when we see someone successful in our community, and we should not be jealous. We should be happy for them. We all know the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, لا يؤمن أحدكم حتى يحب لأخيه ما يحبه لنفسه. None of you are true believers until you love to your brother what you love to yourself. And sister, I just want you to know, right through the ages, jealousy existed. Qabil and Habil, Shaitan, the brothers of Yusuf, sons of Prophet. If you actually continue right through Fir'aun to Musa, right through, jealousy existed. If there is no Islam, if there is no education, you will not be able to stop that. And people, unfortunately, look at the success of a person, and sometimes they don't see their own success. It's a sickness. And they need, you see, I love the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. He said, إن العبد إذا أذنب ذنبا ثم اعترف ثم تاب الله عليه. When a slave, we are all slaves of Allah. When they commit sins, and then they acknowledge their sin. Many people commit sins and they don't know it's a sin. And then they regret this sin. And they ask Allah for forgiveness, Allah will forgive them. You see, we need to know what is good and what is bad. Because we've gone so far away from the natural instinct. We don't know what is good and what is bad. So some parents might be teaching their kids to hate another person because this person, where did he get his money from? Why did he get this job? What? Just say Alhamdulillah. Please, brothers and sisters, Be content. The Prophet ﷺ has said to Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, Kun radiyan, takun aghna nas. Be content, be happy. If you have 1 ringgit and you're happy and you say Alhamdulillah, you are richer than a person who's got billions and they are ungrateful, unhappy. Say Alhamdulillah. Be content. Please. Radiyallahu anhum wa radu an. Allah is pleased with them. Why? Because they were pleased with Allah. They were pleased, they were content. War, they were content. Poverty, they were content. Trial, test, they were content. We need to teach our children to be content. Allah's given you this, and He's given him this, and He's given him this, and He's given her this. Don't be jealous. We all know that al-hasad تأكل الحسنات كما تأكل النار الحطب. Jealousy, enviness, it eats the good deeds as the fire eats the logs of wood. Please just say Alhamdulillah. Don't look, where did he get this from? Why did he get this job? Why is she wearing a beautiful dress? Why is her nose better than my nose? Say Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Please, these 2 words, keep them in your mouth. Alhamdulillah. As for her other question, in regards of parents, we hear sometimes parents abuse their children, whether verbally or physically or emotionally or whatever. Please, parents, we all know the story of Umar radiallahu anh. When a father came to him and he said to him, my son has been disobedient to me. So Umar came to the son, he said, you've been disobedient to your father? He said, yes. Then the boy said to the Umar, he said, Umar radiallahu anh, he said, do I have rights on my father? He said, yes. He said, what's my rights? He said that he marries a good woman and he names you a good name and he teaches you from the book. He said, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, O Umar, my father married a woman that she's jinziyah. She's a revert that she never practiced, yani, in other words. And he named me Khanfus, a name that all the kids used to make fun of me. And he never taught me a word of the Quran. Umar turned around and he looked at the father and said to him, you have been disobedient to your son before your son has been disobedient to you. Please, parents, I'm begging you, parents. I'm a parent. It's the hardest thing. It's very difficult. Come down a bit. Tuwada. Be humble. Don't say, I'm the father, he must listen to me. Please, just relax a little bit. Be nicer to your son, he would listen. Be kinder to your son. Be wiser with your son and daughter. They would listen. Don't just come yelling, screaming, I'm a father. My grandfather used to do this. And please, Umar said, please remember, I want you to write this down. Umar said, radiyallahu anhu, علموا أولادكم لزمان غير زمانكم. radiyallahu anhu ya Umar. Umar radiyallahu anhu said, teach your children to a time different than your time. You can't say now to your son, no, I'm not going to get your car, I'm going to get your donkey. You can't. Okay? Time has changed. You can't say, oh, you can't watch television. Get a television. But make sure that there's some good channels, documentaries, Islamic channels, things that will benefit him. Oh, you can't have the internet. All of his friends has internet. Have the internet. Control it. Sometimes we make our kids hate Islam. Everything haram, 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 haram. Excuse me, is that halal? No, it's not halal. Wallah. Everything's haram. Relax, man. So please respect the parents. I'm begging you for the sake of Allah. Your children could be the reason that you go into Jannah or you go into hell. If you look after them, inshallah, when you die and I die, وَلَدٌ صَالِحٌ يَدْعُو لَهُ. Righteous son or daughter that will make dua for you. When you die, everything stops except for 3 things. Continuous charity, sadaqah jariyah. علم نافع ينتفع, beneficial knowledge. and also waladun salih, righteous son or daughter that will make dua for you. The Prophet ﷺ said, a man will come the day of judgment and he will see mountains of good deeds. And he will ask Allah, oh Allah, who does these good deeds belong to? He said, you. He said, but Allah, I didn't do this. He said, because of your son or daughter that make istighfar for you. So this person has gone into Jannah because of his son and daughter. Everything that you teach your son and daughter of good, you teach them salat, every time they pray, you get the same reward. And every time your son or daughter teaches others, you get rewarded. See how beautiful Islam is? Another question. Another question? Yes, sister. Oh, sorry, I have questions. Yeah, the sister, then I'll come to this. Yeah. Yes, please. Barakallahu fiik.
When you recite the Quran. But in truth, Allah presents everywhere. That's why we have problems like people going to masjid, but he or she feels no qualms throwing the trash on the way to the masjid. He feels no qualms cutting queues or causing issues to other people while on the way to the masjid.
So true.
Right? So we should change our dialogue every day with our children.
True.
For example, if they say, Mommy, can I get that toy? And I say, why don't you ask Allah first? Ask Allah first. Delay the gratification.
Very good.
And then after that, when you do get them whatever that they want,
Yep.
then you relate back to, oh, Allah has
Answered mine.
dua.
Yeah.
You must have done something very pleasing to him. That's why he's giving you that.
So true.
It's not me that's giving it to you, it's Allah. So pray to Allah, ask Allah in everything that you do. So, and another thing that I normally do is relate back to Surah with the prophets of the Sahaba. So, for example, my son would say, oh, my sister is so annoying. And I said, you know who else has annoying siblings? Nabi Allah.
Yeah.
Yusuf.
Yes.
He has the worst sibling.
True. That's nice.
So when we relate back to the Surah, they felt that whatever trials that they're having going through right now is not alien. It has been there for ages.
True.
And Allah has preserved all these stories for us to take heed and see how did the Prophet handle it then. And it should be the way we handle it now for ourselves.
May Allah bless you. Very, very good point that sister raised. Respected brothers and sisters, please, we're not Christians or Jews. That we only practice Islam as they have in a church or in a synagogue. We Muslims practice Islam everywhere. And I pointed out previously, the real Muslim that really stands out at a time of dispute and disagreement. Allah has said subhanahu wa ta'ala, فَإِن تَنَازَعْتُمْ فِي شَيْءٍ فَرُدُّوهُ إِلَى اللَّهِ وَالرَّسُولِ إِن كُنْتُمْ تُؤْمِنُونَ بِاللَّهِ وَالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ. Allah has said subhanahu wa ta'ala, if you have a dispute or disagreement, then take it back to Allah and His message. That means the Quran and Sunnah. If you believe in Allah on the Day of Judgment. The Prophet ﷺ said, وَمَنْ يَعِشْ مِنْكُمْ سَيَرَى اخْتِلَافًا كَثِيرًا فَعَلَيْكُمْ بِسُنَّتِي وَسُنَّةِ الْخُلَفَاءِ الرَّاشِدِينَ الْمَهْدِيِّينَ مِنْ بَعْدِي تَمَسَّكُوا بِهَا وَعَضُّوا عَلَيْهَا بِالنَّوَاجِذِ. The Prophet ﷺ said, whomever lives amongst you, they will see a lot of disputes and disagreement. You are to take my sunnah and the sunnah of the Khulafa al-Rashidin. What Abu Bakr and Umar and Uthman and Ali do, sunnah. The Prophet ﷺ said, تَمَسَّكُوا بِهَا, hold on to it. وَعَضُّوا عَلَيْهَا بِالنَّوَاجِذِ, and bite from your back teeth, the strong ones. Please, respected brothers and sisters, I'm begging you for the sake of Allah, that make sure that you implement Islam in your houses, on the streets, when there's disputes, when there's disagreements, wherever you are. It is haram for us to limit Islam only in a masjid. Islam is everywhere, especially when you are husband and wife. Deal with Islam. What did Allah say? Okay, alhamdulillah, that's what Allah said, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm begging you for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because many Muslims, at a time of dispute, allow me to say husband, wife, or business, say, excuse me, leave Sharia aside. I don't. Please, brother, that's very dangerous what you said. Please, I'm begging you. Husband, wife, she wants more money or he wants more money. Ittaqillah, fear Allah. What did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say? What did the Prophet say? Accept. That's a Muslim. What is the definition of a Muslim? What is a Muslim? If someone asks you now, a Jew or Christian or Buddhist, what is a Muslim? A Muslim is the person that submits and surrenders to Allah without any doubts or any hesitation. Al-Muslim man yastaslim lillah bidun shak wala rayb. That's a Muslim. Muslim, that means you submit. I pull a gun, submit. You sit, stand. Stand on one leg, run. You submit. And we submit to Allah. Al-Alim, the all-knower. Al-Khabir, the all-expert. Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, the most gracious, most merciful. Please, that's a Muslim. What is the difference between us and the Jews? One word. My question now to you. What is the difference between Muslims and Jews? One word, Aini, there's one word. The Muslims say Sami'na wa, the Jews say Sami'na wa Asayna. Allahumma sallam ya Rabb. May Allah protect us. Muslims say we hear and we obey. The Jews say we hear and disobey. And now many Muslims, they say Sami'na wa nasina. We hear and we forget. Please, we Muslims, Sami'na wa ata'na. Another question? Another question from the floor? Huh? Okay. Someone sent me a McDonald's, mashallah, question. Has the life of Muslims, people as a minority groups in Australia, do they have freedom? Our problem being a Muslim? Wallahi, we have more freedom in Australia than some Muslim countries. Wallah. We have more freedom in Australia more than the majority of Muslim countries. Wallah. Even that we're the minority. But some Muslims who are fanatics, who are extremists, they have taken some of our rights because of their ill approach. Wallahi al-Azim. Some Muslims who don't know Islam and they think you can kill and blow up and this and that, they have denied us some of the rights. We had all rights, okay? But through their stupidity, through them not understanding Islam, through this, see, I don't know how to beat around the bush. I'm straightforward. Through this ISIS ideology, there has been some restrictions on Muslims because of their stupidity. This is a problem. But wallahi al-azim, may Allah reward the sister who asked me that question. I can assure you, alhamdulillah, we're very safe. We have opportunities to give da'wah. Our organization and other organizations, they go to the city and they distribute flyers about Islam all the time. And many people, alhamdulillah, have embraced Islam. Thank you. So, and now we're going to be opening up the first television station, inshallah, in Australia and in the South Pacific, in Papua New Guinea, Fiji, Samoan Island. And that's one of the reasons that I'm here, inshallah. So please make dua for us that it goes successful. Because some of the people here have expertise in TV. We don't know nothing. So we're asking, we're actually consulting some of the people that can, share with us some of the expertise, inshallah. So please make dua, inshallah, that goes successful, bi'idhnillahi azza wa jalla. We are now in many level of stages. Can you give us tips how or where to start? As I said previously, the Muslims have different levels. Some are Muslims, some are mu'min, some are muhsin. You see, if you had a choice now, you want a car. What would you want? Just an average car? Or would you want a car that has power steering, air condition, cruise control, sunroof? And Islam is like this. You see, many of us are good people. And I believe we're all good people. You wouldn't be here otherwise. But most of us are like, at the moment, sugar and the tea. You just need steering. You need to move. Don't just stay there. Sisters and brothers, my advice to you, be involved in dawah. Be involved. Whether you're cleaning or cooking or lecturing or advising, be involved. That's the reason that kept me steadfast. I was always involved in an Islamic organization. I'd always advise a young brother, a young sister to get off drugs, for her to go back to her husband, for him to go back to his parents from a young age. Be involved. We're not equal. Everyone has ability. She's a good writer. She's a good advisor, mashallah. She can clean, tabarakallah. Everyone is. If all these expertise come together, we'll be able to achieve much success. But if every person sits aside, then we're not going to be able to achieve this high level. Alhamdulillah, our organization is, alhamdulillah, هذا فضل من Allah, is one of the most organized organization in Australia. And we focus on the youth. Our focus is the youth. Alhamdulillah, last Friday I had a khutbah. We had approximately 2,800 people. And we have multicultural. We have people, mashallah, we have the Malaysian and the Singaporean community, mashallah, they're part of us. Okay, we have, mashallah, a huge Somalian community, we have Indian, we have Arabs, we have Turks, everything. I love it. I don't like when I go up to a place and they're all Arabs, or they're all Asians, or they're all Africans. That's not a good organization. And we speak the language of the youth. We speak English because the Malaysian kids in Australia, they understand more English than Malay. Wallah. The Arabs, my kids, they understand English more than Arabic. So you need to speak their language. That's why when Sheikh Jazallah Khair Kamalin, when he came, I said to him, Sheikh, I have one advice to you. I said, learn English. I said, English has become the world's language. And that's my advice to every da'i. When you're given at the moment a lecture, and you have, mashallah, thousands of Malaysian brothers and sisters, may Allah bless them and protect your country, inshallah. And you give it also in English, who's going to benefit? The world's going to benefit. And Jazallah Khair, he's going to come to Australia and he's going to stay there for a few months and he's going to learn the English language, inshallah. Obviously with threats, and I threatened him and things like this. That's the only way you people seem to work. Alright, Jazakallah. Any other questions from the floor? I think we'll wrap it up. That's it. Jazakumullah khair. Again, thank you, respected brothers and sisters. I am very happy that you invited me to such a place. Subhanallah, I only decided less than a week that I'm going to come here. But look how beautiful you are. You responded to this invitation. I ask Allah that this gathering, we find it very heavy in the scale of good deeds. And inshallah, we gather like this amongst the prophets and those that are righteous in Al-Firdaus Al-A'la. Where do we want to go in Jannah? Al-Firdaus, where? We want to go Al-Firdaus. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله وجزاكم الله خير. بارك الله فيكم. Thank you very much. جزاكم الله خير.
نشكر الله الشيخ حمزة.
الله يرضى عنا.
حضوركم في مجلسنا.
الله يجزيك الخير.
نسأل الله العظيم تزوج بعالمنا إن شاء الله.
الله يجزيك الخير.
إذا ما خفت إن شاء الله.
الله يرضى عنك. الله يجزيك.
Terima kasih semua atas kehadiran. Tak ada apa saya nak terjemah kan sebab semua dah faham. Kalau saya nak terjemah lagi tak faham kan. Jadi insya-Allah ada rezeki kita jumpa lagi. Terima kasih banyak-banyak. Subhanakallah bihamdih. Asyhadu an la ilaha illa anta ونستغفرك ونتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.